Hey T, how you going?
I'm good.
Long time, hey?
Yeah, I know. It's been a
What's been
while.
happening?
Nothing much. Just chilling, really, with the fam.
I think you got to flip it around because it's like coming up sideways.
Wait, like that?
Yeah, yeah. So what have you been up to during this? Obviously back home with fam. Have you been able to work out? What's been happening?
Yeah, just been with the family, really. I've been able to work out a little bit at my dad's school because my dad's a PE teacher.
Yeah,
So he has like an outdoor court that I've been going to every day and shooting. But yeah, just really spending time with my family and
yeah,
just enjoying this weather.
yeah. It must be good to be home and spending time with them all the time after being away for so long and that sort of stuff, though.
Yeah, it's so nice to be here with them because I can't even remember. Oh, the last time I came home was when I had Opals camp, which was this time
Yeah,
last year, but I didn't see my family much. So,
yeah. Okay. So how's everything going? Like as far as like coming back to the sport now? Like, are you ready? Like once everything, I suppose, is back up and going, like. Are you cleared to go back and play when it all gets up back and going and stuff?
yeah, so I'm cleared pretty much to do whatever I want.
Yeah,
And it's coming along okay. I guess my cardio, I just need to work on my cardio because I feel like my ball handling skills and my shooting is still pretty good. It's just
yeah.
I'm dying. I die really fast when I work out.
Join the
Uh,
crew with that one.
so yeah,
um,
yeah.
so have you heard much as far as like what's happening with the college season and stuff like that at all yet? Or
Not really. We just had a team meeting on Zoom yesterday, and pretty much Coach Q said that he's just waiting to hear because really, like, no one can really fly in the country. He said that the players that are in America might be able to go to Q's for the summer session, but
yeah,
as far as international students, I don't think we'll be able to get over there until school starts in August.
yeah. Is how tough is that after missing last year, obviously with medical stuff, and then obviously being ready to go now, and you don't even know what's happening with it?
Yeah, I know. I know it'll be fine though. We'll be fine. I feel like
Yeah.
Coach Q is always positive and he always tells us like it'll be okay. We'll get through it. So
Yeah, nice. Well, we'll jump straight into it. Obviously, we've done some stories together in the past on what you've been through and stuff like that. Obviously, over in the States with Syracuse, before you had dealt, a massive hurdle last year. Tell us about sort of all it how it came about, and all that type of stuff.
yeah, so it was this time last year actually. I think yeah, it was this time last year. I was just, in the shower just doing washing my body and I felt a lump and so I went to the student health center pretty much straight away just to see, what it was and they sent me home and they were like come back in 2 weeks and we'll see if it's gotten bigger or whatever. And then so I went back after actually I didn't go back. My mum was like pressuring me. My mum was like, Tiana, go back, go back. I was like, okay. So I ended up going back probably like a month later, 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
And the doctor was like freaking out because it didn't go away and it had gotten bigger.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the nurse was like freaking out. And she sent me to get an ultrasound that week. And so I had to get an ultrasound and then and then in the ultrasound, I could kind of tell that something was up because the lady that was doing it was like, she seemed that, like, I could just tell something was wrong.
Yeah.
And pretty much after that, I had to get a biopsy and then I got that on a Friday and then the doctor said he'll call me on, what was it? He called me on Tuesday. So I had to wait like really before I got the call, and then I call in the morning at like 8 a.m. It actually woke me up. And so after that, I was just like so upset because it didn't feel real,
Yeah.
like was just like, it just didn't feel real. So then I called my friend Miranda and I went to Coach K's office, and he knew I was getting tests and stuff, but like I only just told him on that Sunday. Like I didn't tell him been back and forth to the doctors. I just told him that Sunday that I get results back for, and I didn't think that it would be anything, so that's why I kind of left it late. And then yeah, so when I told him, we were like, I was super upset, so was he. But he was just like, okay, like, don't worry about anything. Like, we'll take care of you. Like, we'll help you. Like, you know, and he literally has been there since day one. So, yeah. And so then I had to do chemo. When I called my parents, it was like super emotional because, like, I didn't even want to call them, you know, like, I didn't even want to tell them because no one wants to tell their parents that.
Yeah.
Especially,
I read something that you told your teammate from the previous season first, and you were
yeah.
worried about telling your parents. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I called Miranda, I was telling her, like, I don't want to call mom and dad because I don't want to tell them. And she was like, Tiana, you have to call them. So I was like, okay. So when I called my parents, they were just like, my dad was like freaking out in the back, and my mom was talking to me. And my dad was like telling me I have to come home, like, you have to come home, get treatment here. Like, he wanted me home straight away.
Yeah.
But then when I went to speak to Coach Q was like, you can stay here and like you can get here, like we'll take care of you. Like, so then what ended up happening was my parents flew over to see me and like be with me for my first treatments. So they were there for a month. And then so treatment lasted till October 14th was my last treatment. And then it was just such a relief, you know, like, because what treatment is, you got to sit there for people who don't know, because I didn't know anything about cancer. I had no idea about anything.
Yeah.
So I had to go in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I had to sit there until about 1 o'clock.
Wow.
Which was my first 4 sessions, was 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours. And then my second 4 sessions was 6 hours a day. So I just had to sit in a chair for 4 hours, and I had to sit in a chair for 6 hours. So yeah, that's what, and because, you know, before all this, I had no clue like what to do, you know, like I've never had anybody in my family have it. I've never had anyone like even close to me have cancer, any kind of cancer. So it was all new to my parents and to me. But yeah, so then after that, I had to wait a month until I could get surgery. And, you know, like before I got surgery, people were saying that if you get a mastectomy, like sometimes you lose your strength doing push-ups, chin-ups, and stuff like that. So my dad actually didn't want me to get a mastectomy. He wanted me to get just the lump removed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew that even if I got a mastectomy, I would be fine. Like, I just knew, like, I'll work it back. And the doctors were telling me, like, I'm young and it's okay. Like, I was super healthy at the time, too. I'm healthy now, but, like, like super healthy. So, so then, yeah, pretty much after that surgery, I had to wait. But throughout everything, whenever I could, like, I would play pickup and I would work out whenever I could. It was just like during chemo, I was just super tired and like I couldn't really like do anything. After like 4 days, the first 4 days, I was super tired, couldn't do anything. Like I would get ready to go out with my teammates and stuff, and then like when it would hit 12, I was like, okay, I'm tired.
And we all know the normal T doesn't go home before 12.
Right. So,
what was the toughest thing when it first happened? Was it because you were so young? Like, what was the feelings like, and the most shocking thing when it first sort of, obviously the most shocking thing is that you actually had it, but what was it like when you first got it?
Yeah, so I actually, when I first got it, I couldn't believe it. And coming up to that day when I got the call, I was telling my friend, like, I was telling him, like, that I'm scared, and I was really upset. Like, I was crying all the time because, like, I just felt like it was something wrong, like it was going to be. And so then when I got the call, I think I was just in shock. Like, and I feel like throughout the whole process, I was kind of in denial that I even had it, because I was still doing things that I was still acting like I didn't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just was normal, and like, which helped me get through it. Like, I feel like if I didn't do that, I probably would have been really sad and like upset all the time. So at first, I think, throughout the whole process, I felt like I was in denial and like I didn't accept it, but it helped me get through it. So
Yeah. And what was it like? Obviously, it's pretty tough being over the other side of the world with your parents back here, but they visited as much as you can along with your brothers and stuff. But obviously, you had your Syracuse family as well with Coach Q. Tell us about the difficulty of having your family back here, but also having, you know, your Syracuse family and especially Coach Q over there, and how that helped.
yeah, so definitely having my family away from me was really hard. And that's what helped me get through it, is when they came and visited me, because they actually I never had a point in time where one of my family members wasn't with me during a chemo session. And there was probably 3 weeks out of the whole 4 months where I was by myself and I didn't have someone like my brother and their wife with me. So that just really helped me get through it. It was hard at first because I had to wait a month until I started treatment. So that month, my parents hadn't come yet. And then it was hard to like understand what was happening a little bit. But yeah, and then with Coach Q, like, he literally was just like the best. Like, his wife, if I ever need anything, his wife would like call me and check in on me as well. And just all my teammates, I had unlimited support.
Yeah, that's great, especially being so far away from your family, like you said.
Yeah.
Going through it, what were the toughest things as you sort of progressed through having the treatment and everything? Was it, you know, a lot of people talk about, you know, losing the hair and different things that they feel they struggle with. What were some of the things you struggled with the most during that, and how did you deal with it?
Yeah, so I would say my hair, definitely hair loss, was the biggest thing that I struggled with, just because I knew it was going to happen, but when it actually happened, it was like traumatic. Like, yeah, my hair would just fall out literally, like in bed. Like, I'd just be laying down and just when I take if I was wearing a hat, I'd take my hat off, there'd be hair everywhere. It ended up like I couldn't even put my hair in a ponytail, because when I take the ponytail out, it would just be, so it was like really traumatic for me. So that's why I decided to just cut my hair, short, instead of just letting it fall out. I just decided to shave it. And so that was definitely one of the hardest parts. The other symptoms that I had were mouth sores. So I had like ulcers and blisters inside my mouth.
Okay.
Which was hard, because like it would be sore to eat, and like I couldn't really drink anything hot. It would just, that was like one of the struggles. But how I got through my hair loss is, I would say, I just embraced it. I tried not to, I tried to wear a wig and like headscarves and stuff, but in the end, it was just better for me to just embrace it and just like accept the fact that, I lost my hair. And I think that's what helped me the most in the whole process, is just with the hair loss, is just accepting it and just being me, because it felt awkward leaving the house wearing something on my head and then coming inside and looking like a different person. So for me I had to feel the same as when I was outside as inside.
Okay. And going back to the support you had, obviously you had a lot of support here as well from, friends and the basketball community and everyone back here, but also in the States with, coaches and I think players from different, or your conference and that, doing things for you. Tell us about some of the things, people over there and back home did and how much that meant to you.
Yeah, so growing up, I played for Southern District Spartans, and I played there pretty my whole life. So I know the QBL team, they all wore fatigue shirts and for their warm-up, and, it just meant so much to me, especially because I wasn't in Australia. So just seeing that, talking to Natalie about it, Purcell, and just seeing how much they had for me, it helped me so much. And same with back in America with the ACC, the coaches video, it just to want to get back out on the court, and it motivated me to stay positive throughout the whole situation, because some days it was just like horrible. So just seeing that, it just made me stay motivated.
Did you expect that type of support? Obviously, these are coming from, especially in the States, some people you don't know and all that sort of stuff. Did you expect that amount of support? Because it was crazy.
Yeah, not at all, honestly. I did not expect videos and messages. I mean, I got so many messages, people from California, from Seattle, from everywhere. It's just crazy because I did not expect any of that. Yeah, probably for coaches and the players and stuff, yeah, but just regular people who don't even really watch basketball but have had a family member or been through it themselves with breast cancer. So it was just great. It was great to see and have.
Obviously, your health was obviously the main thing, but tell us about the struggle with being dealt this hurdle when you're at such a peak period in your basketball as well. You were had your best season at Syracuse, got named in the preliminary squad for the Opals, decided to return to Syracuse for a final year instead of going to the WNBA draft. Really playing well and everything like that. And then this happens. Tell us about the struggle basketball-wise and the timing of it, and how that affected you.
Yeah, it's crazy because when I think about it, I can't even explain. I don't even know how I got through it at first, because, yeah, like you said, I got invited to the Opals camp, and it happened pretty much right after that. And I don't know how I got through it. I don't know. It was such a hard, I just knew that it would be okay. And just having the support from everyone saying, you're going to be fine. Even my doctors, I believed and trusted my doctors and my nurse, everyone was just supporting me and helping me stay up there. It's very easy to get super depressed and down in those situations, and just having that support is what helped me get through it, knowing that this was supposed to be my year. This was supposed to be my year. The draft that happened a couple of weeks ago, I was supposed to be in that draft. It's just crazy, but I think at the same time everything happens for a reason, and I just feel like I'm going to be better than ever when I get back.
Yeah, okay. And I saw, last year you were named, I think it was Syracuse.com sports person of the year and stuff like that. But just all that sort of stuff, does that mean a lot to you, going through this, that you can, become a role model, and, does it prove to yourself that you've got a sort of whole another length of level of strength that you can get through this type of stuff as well?
Yeah, for sure. Just that recognition, because I have been through a lot, and just people recognizing me for, what I've been through. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate it. And it's hard to get through situations like this. And I'm sure there's other people out there that are going through it. So yeah, I don't know. I like that recognition.
Yeah. And how does that, being a role model now, sit with you, and what do you sort of aim? What sort of advice, can you give to athletes, who are going through something similar, and just, you know, athletes in general and young people?
Yeah, I would say just stay positive, and you know, like things are gonna happen in your life. Like I'm a lot older than the usual college student, and you know, like I feel like it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how small you are, how tall you are. I feel like just keep pursuing your dreams and goals, because it might just not be the pathway that you expect.
Yeah. And just going back, you know, just on your basketball journey now, and putting that sort of medical stuff aside, obviously grew up in Brisbane, played at Spartans, went to State High, played at the Australian Institute of Sport. I know you spent a year up with Townsville Fire in the WNBL, and then came back to Spartans and won a Siebel championship. I know you were sort of tossing and turning then. Was it always a goal to go to college, or did you think at times about staying here, and what sort of changed your mind to sort of decide to go over there and go to the college route?
Yeah, so out of high school, like, I thought about going to college just because, I don't know, I just never wanted to go. I was over school.
Yeah.
And then Natalie Purcell, she encouraged me to go to college, and she really pushed me to go to college and said that they would love my game over there. I felt like in Australia, my game wasn't really respected as much as I thought it should be. And so that's why I wanted to try something different. Yeah, so that's really why I left and went to college.
And you went to Hutchinson Community College for a year, didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
How tough was that to sit out a year? Obviously, you know, I know from being around you and that sort of stuff that you love the game and just want to play all the time and stuff like that. How hard was that year there?
Yeah, it was so hard. I had to sit out for 2 years, and it was hard, but my teammates loved me. Like I loved my teammates. We all loved each other. I would come into practice and I would tell them all, like, because we would scrimmage all the time in practice, and I would tell them all, like, you're lucky I'm not playing. Like, you know, we'd joke around, and I'd tell them, like, how I'm going to score 40 on them at practice. So
Yeah.
it was just fun. Like, I really loved my junior college experience, and I encourage everybody to go to college in Australia. Like, it's just an amazing experience. And even though I didn't get to play there, I still had the best time of my life.
Yeah, okay. And tell me how Syracuse came about. You know, I read somewhere that Coach Q identified you at 2013 World Championships when he was an assistant coach with the Netherlands, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But tell us about how that came about, because obviously it's a huge school. We all know for like Carmelo Anthony and stuff like that.
Yeah, so at first, actually, the assistant coach, Coach Amadou, he reached out to me on Facebook and was
Yeah.
like telling me about him and how he's assistant coach at Syracuse, blah, blah, blah. And at first, I was just like, this is cool. But I didn't know anything, because in Australia, you don't know anything about college basketball, really. Like,
Yeah.
well, I didn't. So, and then I had other offers from all these other schools too, because my coaches at Hutch, they thought I was good and they told people about me. So that's really how I got noticed, is just through word of mouth, through my coaches. So, you know, I appreciate them so much, because I definitely wouldn't be where I am without them and them believing in my talent. But yeah, so then he messaged me. He asked if I wanted to go on a visit, and I was like, yeah. So I went on a visit. I wasn't sure where I wanted to go. I knew of Syracuse though too, and I was like, oh my gosh, Syracuse, like, that's
Yeah.
cool. That sounds so cool. And but yeah, so it was really out of Syracuse and Oklahoma State. They were my two
Yeah. Okay.
last options.
That's where one of my players just committed to, Nefertari Natar. So
Oh wow.
yeah. So yeah, and then tell me about when you started there, your first year, how that went? Because obviously, you played well, but the second year was, your best, obviously. But tell us how that first year went, and was the adjustment difficult at all to be in such a school like that?
Yeah, for sure. It was really difficult at first just because it's a complete different level to junior college. But I do believe that my coaches got me prepared for Division One. But when I got to Syracuse, it was hard adjusting to the team, I would say, just because there's a lot of competitiveness. People, might say things about you or talk about you, and it's just, it was difficult, for my first year. And when I started playing my first year, I had a lot of turnovers, and Coach Q, like every game, was telling me, like, you need to cut your turnovers down. And my first year was really hard, like, for me to cut my turnovers down. But then I practiced a lot on my shot and different aspects of my game, because my first year I was like 26% free three shooter. And so over the summer, assistant Coach Tammy was like, we're just going to work on threes all summer. So then my second season at Syracuse, I was like 36% from the three. And, just having those coaches there believe in me, like, that's what really helped me my second year.
Yeah, okay. Was there a game in particular where you sort of stamped yourself and thought you could dominate at this level? Was there a moment in particular, or was it just sort of progressed with time? Because I know you had some big games, some massive games.
I think it just progressed in time, because I'm not, like, growing up, I wasn't a scorer, like, no, I wasn't like the top point scorer for my team. I wasn't like the best, like, I'm more of like the point guard, assist, and like, getting everyone sorted. But Coach Q turned me into a scoring guard, like a scoring point guard. He believed in me. He told me to shoot the ball when I was open. I think a lot of the time growing up and in Australia, we don't emphasize how much scoring matters. And I think, when I was growing up, I would be like a passer all the time. And so I don't think there was a game or anything, but just gradually I realized, like, okay, like, I'm doing good.
Yeah, okay. Hold on, but wasn't there a game where you had like 40-something points?
Yeah. There was a game my first year, I had 44 against Georgia Tech. But guess
How'd
what?
that feel?
I didn't have 1 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
it felt good. I mean, like, it always feels good to, like, play well, like, after a good game. And then my second year, I had 44 against Florida State, which I think was my best game of my career, because I was doing floaters, I was driving, I was shooting threes, all of that. It wasn't just my first year, it was just like driving.
Yeah, okay. And what's your highest assist numbers in a game?
7.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was
What helped? Sorry, you go.
No, yeah, that was just my first year when I played.
Yeah, okay. What helped you with that sort of, obviously, I've seen you play a fair bit here, and your game is sort of unique for Australia, the way you can handle the ball and, and attack the paint and stuff like that. Where did you learn to do that? Was it from your dad, or, how did you learn to do that at such a young age? Because you had it from such a young age as well. Obviously, not from him as far as him doing it, but maybe coaching or something. Where did you learn it?
No, I would say my brothers and my family, like, when my uncles are actually really good at basketball, but my dad isn't that good. So I got it from my family. And I don't know, growing up, that's just how I always played. Like, it was like I played a different way, and then I was like, okay, I want to be like this, I'm going to do that. It was just like something that I was always doing. Like,
yeah, okay. And growing up, obviously you played against your brothers, but even at SEABL level, you used to play against the guys before training or when we shot around and all that sort of stuff. I don't think I ever won a game against you. CJ Massagale and that probably did a little bit, but you used to bust our ass too. So how much did that help going against guys and all that sort of stuff? Did that help with that sort of aggressive attitude and stuff as you grew up?
Yeah, definitely. That helped so much. And then when CJ Bruton became the coach, he let me practice with the men's team. And so
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that helped me a lot. I remember after the women's practices, sometimes I'd just jump in with the men and do like the warm up and like do some of the drills. So I think just like having
Yeah.
that confidence of coaches letting me participate and against males definitely helped me.
Yeah, okay. And obviously after that last year, you played so well in that second year, had a lot of hype around you over there as well. Would obviously get drafted into the WNBA. Why did you decide to go back for another year at Syracuse, and what went into that decision? I could imagine Coach Q was pretty pleased with that decision.
Just because when I was in the mock draft, they had me like late second, third round, and that's just like not what I felt. I didn't feel comfortable going into the draft being predicted that. And I knew if I stayed another year, I would be able to show them what I can really do, because I already improved from my first year to my second year. So then from my second to my third year, I knew I'd improve and if I work hard. And so I just felt like if I played one more year, I would be a top pick like in the first round.
Yeah.
And so that's really why I decided to stay.
Yeah, okay. I don't know whether you're one of those people that looks at those sort of things and gets motivated or angry by it, but did seeing that mock draft anger or motivate you at all?
Yeah, it definitely motivated me, to put in more work and extra work. Because, like, I played against my second year, like, I played against Sabrina, I played against Kennedy Carter, I played against all these players that just got top 5 round pick this year. And so I don't know, it made me motivated to show them that I should be higher in the pick.
Yeah, okay. And obviously that's the big goal now as well. Do you feel, you can still get there after all this and all that sort of stuff? How do you feel about that goal now?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very confident that I will get picked up. I just know I have to put in the work or else it's not going to happen. Like my first year to my second year, I put in the work and I got results. And so I feel like for next year, I have to just work harder. And it's hard, now because I can't be at Q's. So my first year to my second year, I stayed at Syracuse the whole summer and worked out. And now, obviously, I can't be there because of Corona. So it makes it difficult because when I'm at Syracuse, I'm super motivated and I can go to the gym and I have a shooting machine, everything. It's just there for me. And here it's like difficult because I have my family, I have the beach right there. My mom brings home chocolate and I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom.
Yeah. Going back on your journey as well, you mentioned obviously your brothers, CJ Bruton, stuff like that. Who are some of the coaches or people that influenced you the most going through your journey?
I would say definitely CJ Bruton helped me, and he always let me work out like with the boys, and it just, it definitely helped me a lot. I don't know if you know Stevie Snow.
Yeah, I do. Yep.
So he actually is the first person that ever told me to go to college. And he told me to look into it. And then like the week later, Nat had messaged me about going to college. So I would say those two for sure, Nat and Stevie. And with my game, I would say when I went to the AIS, Phil Brown and Christy Floors.
Yeah.
Christy was the assistant coach and she was a point guard. So she trained me a lot and she really helped my footwork. And then when I was younger in high school, when I was 16, 15, 16, I would say Shane Hill. I did individual workouts with Shane for about maybe a year. And he helped me so much. My game, like my footwork, coming off screens, all that kind of stuff. So I would say that those are the people that really helped me in my game.
Yeah, not a bad group of people to learn from either. Going back to the Tute as well, obviously that was at the time when the women's team was in the WNBL as well. How much did that sort of boost your career, and what was that experience like of going down there?
Yeah, that was my first year. Like, I think I was there for like a couple months while they were still in the WNBL, and it was a learning experience for sure. You know, like just playing against the best female athletes in Australia and just competing against them. It was difficult at first to get used to like the training habits and the amount of training that we had to do. But yeah, it was just a really great learning experience.
Yeah, okay. And obviously we spoke about it before. You went on to be named in that Opal squad last year before this happened. Was that always a goal of yours to play for the Opals? And what was it like to be named in that squad? Obviously, you know, Australia recognised as the second best team in the world in the women's game. So to break into that squad is obviously pretty big. So what did that mean to you?
Yeah, it meant so much to me. It's been one of my goals since I was younger, and you know, just being able to go to the camp, getting invited to the camp was such an amazing opportunity. And you know, I told Sandy Brondello that like I appreciate her for, you know, giving me that opportunity to showcase my skills. But yeah, when I was there, it was just an awesome experience with Leilani Mitchell, Kayla George. Just like it was just an awesome experience getting to learn from Leilani, and you know, because she plays in the WNBA,
Yeah.
so really learning from her and speaking to her about the game and just life. It was a great opportunity.
Yeah. Well, how do you think you would have went if you were able to sort of compete to make that squad and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, I was actually supposed to go back to the second camp, which was in July that year in Phoenix. So I was actually supposed to go to that. I think I would have done pretty good. I held my own for sure. I'm not sure if I would have made it just because, you know, it was my first year, just getting used to like the different plays and different, you know, the way that Sandy wants us to play and just, yeah. So I don't know if I would have made it, but I know I was supposed to go to the second camp.
Yeah, okay. And, you know, when all this slows down with the coronavirus and stuff, the Olympics back next year and stuff like that, is, you know, competing at a World Cup or or an Olympic Games for the Opals a major goal for you?
Yeah, yeah, that's probably my main goal. That is my main goal. Well, winning a national championship for college is like a goal, and then but that's like a lifetime goal. Like playing in
Yeah.
Australia is like my lifetime goal. Like that's what I want to do in my life. Like I want to do that, and then the NCAA championship is like my next year goal for my team.
Yeah, okay. Just before we go, take us through the normal, you know, for people who don't know, like a normal day in a college athlete's life, like what it's like during the season, you know, how much you guys train, what the road trips are like as far as how hectic it is and stuff like that. What's all that like?
Giving me a headache thinking about it. No, but it's cool. So during the season, say it's the day before a game, we'll wake up at 8 a.m. We'll have practice at 8 a.m. And then at 11 a.m. we'll catch a plane. So we fly charter. So we get our own plane and we fly to, say, Louisville. And
Yeah.
so we're in Louisville. And then when we get there, we go straight to the gym and do a shoot around, walk through all the place. And then after that, we go to the hotel. We go to our rooms for probably like half an hour, and then we have to go downstairs to go to film and watch film. and then we'll go through walkthrough again, and then we'll have dinner. Go to bed. So it's like that's the day before the game.
Yeah. Okay. How do you cope with that? Was it? Did it take you a while to cope with that when you first started? Like, it's insane schedule.
Yeah. It took a while for me to really like get used to college life, especially because we do early practices, like we do like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. practices. So, and then like on top of school, so that day before the game we don't go to classes because we'll be traveling. And when there's school, it's like more intense. And then we have tutoring. We have meetings, all this stuff. So at first it was difficult, but now I'm used to it. So, and I can't wait to get back.
Yeah. Okay. It's a bit of a change from here with Siebel when you train twice a week and play one game.
Yeah, like we train every day. Sometimes we would go like 9 days without a day off, and that's just because of the schedule. Like if we have a game here, a game there, like just depends on the schedule. So yeah, it's intense.
Yeah. Okay. And lastly, obviously during this period, like you said, you're trying to work out as much as you can, catching up with family and that sort of stuff. But what other stuff are you getting up to? Are you watching a particular show or movies, or what do you sort of get up to during this type of period?
Yeah, so right now, well, when I first got back to Australia, I was watching Black Lightning on Netflix, but I got kind of bored of it. So now I was watching the Michael Jordan one, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of watch movies more than shows. I don't really watch many shows, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I've been like kayaking with my brothers, and
Yeah.
what else have I been doing? I don't know. I've been doing a lot. Just
What do you
being
think
out.
of the Last Dance documentary? Obviously, everyone's watching it at this point.
Yeah, no, I really like it. Obviously, so much comes out that you never really know. You know, it always happens in documentaries, like you don't realize. But yeah, I think it's great. I think it's really good for players like me because growing up, I never watched Michael Jordan. I was born in '95, so like that was like when he retired or something, like
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, like, I never really watched him growing up. So it was cool. It's really cool to see, like, how he is and his personality then. Because I just know I just know from watching, like, what his personality is like now.
Yeah. Okay. Who was your favorite player in that growing up then?
LeBron, like, in high school.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I love LeBron in high school. And then I loved, like, Steve Nash. Yeah, so they were like LeBron, my all-time fave player.
That's awesome. I'm glad you said that. Well, I think that's about all we've got time for. But thanks so much for joining me. Obviously, you've been through a lot over the past year, but come through it with flying colours. Obviously, an inspirational story, and it's great to see you doing well now. And hopefully, you can get back over there and dominate college basketball and win that national championship that you want. So, thanks for your time and stay safe, eh?
Brayden.
Thanks, Steve.